In Bungie's Destiny VidDoc and trailer for The Taken King, there was one thing that stood out to me, and that was that there was a fire team of Guardians on the colony ship that's at the centre of the Cosmodrome. And not just that this was a small area, it looks like it's massive. And not just that, it actually shows how you get there in the DLC. So first of all, we actually see a fire team heading towards the usual door that would go to the Spectrus Prime boss battle in the strike on the Cosmodrome. However, you can see that in the boss room where the boss would normally be, there's actually a platform out and over the water to the door on the other side that's actually open. It's normally closed in the strike. So this is obviously the way to get to the colony ship. And then the next scene, we actually see them jumping from one of the pylons. Now the pylon looks a lot more complex, and it also looks undamaged compared to what you can normally see from the boss room. The pylons look way more bashed up, and they don't look nearly as big as well. But this also goes to the rest of the ship when your Guardians are actually up there. So you can see them jumping over from here and getting onto the ship. And the ship is big. Like, those 3 orbs are huge. Like, you can see here the scale. Once you're actually up there, there's a lot of room. And it appears that you actually fight your way up all 3 orbs. And the top orb actually has a boss battle at the very top. Now this is interesting to me because this means the content is already on the disc. It's already on the game. It's just there's no way that I found anyway to get up there. But I'm hoping that I'll show you how much progress I've made, and maybe someone else can really find that path that will actually lead up. Because I think there's probably a way to at least get to the pylon. Maybe not get up it. Maybe you need a button press to do an elevator. Maybe that's just impassable. But maybe it's, maybe just use your double jump to get all the way up in the actual DLC. Who knows? But I think there's a good chance that at least some of this area is accessible in the game as it currently is, and I'd love to see if anyone can figure it out. And you can see here there's a big boss battle going on, and there's a ton of room up there. So I'm going to tell you how I get into the boss room for Spectrus Prime when you're actually on patrol. And this way you can then at least try and figure out another way to get over and maybe access one of the pylons. So you can see here, this is the place you would normally fight the spider tank. So I'm out on patrol. I've already killed the spider tank and all the NPCs. Now we can see the colony ship. We can see the 2 pylons. Now of course they don't look the same as the one we see in the VidDoc DLC video, but I think they're definitely the same one, because you're definitely going into the Spectrus Prime boss battle room and continuing onwards. So I think this is definitely the colony ship. You go up, and it's the one at the center of the map, so it makes sense. And you can see the details on those orbs. It definitely looks like the same ones. Alright, so all you need to do to get to the boss battle room is come up here, and you actually break through this door with your spiral. So you want to get up close to it, and you want to get your summon vehicle available, and then you just simply summon it and boost straight into the door. You go straight through the door. Then you want to get to yourself to this little ledge and walk right through the wall. Now at this point you're actually going to go on top of the corridors you would normally walk to get to the boss room. And it's pretty simple. Just get up. You're going to want to do this with a Titan or a Warlock. You will not be able to do this with a Hunter, because you need a really big jump later on. So you walk up to this wall, it loads up at this point, and you can jump up here. This gives you actually a very good view of the colony ship and the pylons. And of course the ship doesn't look that big from this point of view. And I think this is obviously a smaller size model of the real thing that you're seeing when you're loading up this area, because it definitely looks a lot bigger when you're actually on it. And of course it'll just load up a completely different area when you move through to the right checkpoints. So at that point you want to get over to this snow, and you're looking to get up on top of what you can actually see. You can see, if you look up, you can see a little bit of bones. It's actually a solid element that you can get on top of, and at that point you can jump to this one. And then this might take a few attempts before you get it. You're going to need an okay amount of agility, just enough to make sure you're high enough to get to this thing. As you can see here, miss it, and fly right off the edge. Thankfully though, you respawn back up there, so you're good. So I'll show you my successful attempt. And once you get it, it's quite easy. And then what you want to do is not fall into the water. Now that's not because it'll kill you. You'll actually not die. There's no death zone at all there. You'll actually fall through and end up stuck. And I'll show you that later to show you what not to do. You're going to probably want to do this with 2 people at least. So that if someone falls down there, you can go to orbit and come back down to your buddy. So you can see the pylons left and right. They do not look like the ones in the video. But of course, that's the door that's open in the video. And of course, that is definitely the colony ship you go up. Unfortunately, this is totally solid, so I don't think, even if you get over there, I would love to go over there, I think, with a Blade Dancer Hunter. I think you could make it. I'd love to try anyway, but I haven't had the chance yet, just haven't had the time. And you can there's definitely potentials here, like that hole you come in at the top there, that we actually popped in through earlier. There's holes all the way along, so I'm thinking someone with a good jumping skills, or maybe Blade Dancing around, could maybe move from bit to bit and possibly get further along, maybe manage to pop out from, get through some of the impossible to get through walls, maybe get around them. But you're kind of stuck at this point. This is the far as I've managed to get, and like these bits here, that's what I'm thinking, maybe you could jump on and move from one to the other, but it's going to be pretty tough. So I think a Hunter Blade Dancing could probably make it over here. And I try my best with my Titan here, but he's just a little short. Now this is what happens if you actually get down here, and you're screwed. If you kill yourself, this is where you're going to revive, and there's no way to get back up. And so it's unfortunate this is here. So you're definitely going to want 2 people to help out. But if you can figure out a way to the other side, or even to circumvent this whole area, like I've not found a path yet that leads around, but possible you can actually get around this whole area and get up to one of those pylons. And if you did that, the area would probably load up, and who knows, maybe you could actually be the first person to get on top of that colony ship. So thanks for watching.